Hey, how are you doing? Today is a beautiful spring day in the Netherlands. You won't see leaves on the trees yet because it's early March, it's the 2nd of March, and I'm sitting in a beautiful historic city in the Netherlands which is called Elburg. And Elburg is really interesting because it's a city with over 600 monuments, and that makes it a really nice day trip from a city like Amsterdam. It's located in the northwestern part of the province of Gelderland, and its surroundings are also very special because on the west side you will find the Flevopolder, which is the biggest man-made island in the whole world, I think. And I might cover that one in another video maybe. On the other side, on the eastern side, you will find National Park de Veluwe, which is also really nice to visit. The city is also close by Giethoorn, which is very famous for its beautiful waterways and canals. That's a little small village, maybe you might have heard of it. If you are on a day trip from Amsterdam to Giethoorn, Elburg is a really nice stop actually. Maybe it's even more beautiful, I don't know. I think it might be. So let me show you today this beautiful city. So for who is this place actually nice to visit? Well, first of all, I think it's really nice for people that are into history because it's such a beautiful historic town, isn't it? It's also very picturesque and therefore really well suited for photographers and videographers alike. The initial village was already founded in the 8th century and it was located on the higher grounds next to the Zuiderzee, a former inland sea, and this was way back, of course, before the Flevopolder, the biggest man-made island, was built. The village quickly became an important fishing village, and when the village grew bigger, other people like craftsmen and merchants would settle here as well. The city got city rights in 1233, and that meant that it could be walled. It also got 4 wall towers, and one of those towers you will see over here. This is the fish gate, or vispoort in Dutch. And this gate wasn't initially a gate like it is nowadays. It was just a wall tower, but in 1592 the defense works around the city were expanded, and at that time the gate was constructed here in one of its towers.
When you walk through the fish gate, you will obviously reach the harbor, and that's the perfect place to grab a snack.
Just got some fish.
In the harbor, you can see some beautiful examples of old flat-bottom boats. Why are these so special?
The Zuiderzee had very shallow waters. So for the maneuverability of the flat-bottom boats, they used instead of a keel, a wooden wing-like flatboard on the side of the ship. And that makes them very special. I would love to show some of those. A lot of great examples here in the harbor. And there's also an old shipyard here which is really special. It's still in use. I really love Dutch fishing villages and towns actually. I also visited Spakenburg. I made one video about that, and that was a really special place as well. I think definitely worth a visit. But this town with its harbor is also great. It's very lovely, charming, the people are nice, the food is good.
And there it is, the world's biggest bench. Well, that's what it looks like, to me at least.
Look how big it is. I mean, I'm pretty tall, I'm a tall Dutch guy, 193, but this bench, whatever. Not bad at all. The bench over here is a bit better suited for small humans like me, actually. I'm sitting here next to the visafslag, and the visafslag is the former fish auction house. The freshly caught fish from the Zuiderzee was brought in the harbour and then sold at the auction house behind me. Nowadays I don't think it's in use anymore. The fishermen that you see here in the harbour, and that's a beautiful sight actually, they are not catching the fish to sell, but they throw them back in the water. They are doing it purely for their hobby. In some of the side alleys of the city you will see fishing nets hanging above the street. And this is not only beautiful decoration, but it also shows that the inhabitants of Elburg are really proud of their history as a fishing town. And let me tell you a bit more about the history of this fascinating place. As you can see, it looks really rich, and it was rich, especially for a Dutch city back in the days. And that was because it was part of the Hanseatic League. And this was a league of German merchants that made some trade agreements to benefit economically from that. And these merchants mainly traded around the North Sea and Baltic regions.
If you have a look on this map, you can see that there were quite a few cities part of the Hanseatic League, including quite famous ones like London, Bruges and Hamburg. Talking about maps, just have a look on the city map of Elburg itself, and you'll see that something strange is going on here. It looks like the streets are drawn with a ruler. This is really weird for a medieval Dutch city. There's actually only one little alley that is called the Crooked Street, or Kromme Steeg, that is not straight. So how could this happen? In addition to the Hanseatic League, Elburg also became part of the Duchy of Gelders in the late Middle Ages. And this was a former duchy in the east of the Netherlands and west of Germany. The Duke of Gelre wanted the city to be moved, and the reason is not entirely clear. He may have done this because of the danger of flooding from the Zuiderzee. The Duke appointed steward Arent Thoe Boeckop to build the new city. He came up with a progressive design based on ancient Roman cities, and between 1392 and 1396 the old town was demolished and the new town was built.
Elburg is such a town with so many interesting sites to cover that it's impossible to do this in one day. For example, the tower that you can see here has no top due to a lightning strike. But it's getting dark and I gotta go. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you'd like to see more in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you, of course, in the next one. Bye bye!